Alright, it's Jake again here, and today we're going to fix a very common problem that a lot of people have on their pull start boat engines. See what I'm doing there? Let's get started. As you can see, when you let go of the pull string, it does not recoil completely 100%. It actually stays out a few inches, and in some cases it stays out more than that, maybe 6 inches or more. And so what we did was we just first started squirting the gear and the spring with penetrating lube, and to see if that would help. Surprisingly, it actually made it seem a little bit worse, and I guess we thought that maybe the rust and the corrosion that's in there actually was breaking free, and it was just kind of making it a little bit worse, which was kind of strange. The reason why this happens often is because, you know, especially a boat that you take out in the salt, the salt gets into just about everything, especially moving parts, and it can cause some corrosion, and it can cause things to start to, you know, not work properly. So we actually spent a pretty good amount of time, you know, working this into the gear and into the spring area as best we could. And you know, if you could see, I'm pulling that pull starter over and over and over again. What I ended up having to do was pull the plugs out of the engine to make it a little easier for me to pull that pull string out. You know, it's hard to pull up against an engine that has compression. So when the plugs were out, then it was much easier to really work that that spring and that gear, and really try to get it loosened up. Unfortunately, however, it didn't quite work well. We still had a situation where if you let it go quickly, snap it back, it would work. But if you let that handle go slowly, it would still hang up about 2 or 3 inches, and it wasn't solving the problem. So part 2 was that we decided to try to loop the rope one more time around the gear, and by doing that, of course, you're making it much tighter. And if you make it much tighter, you take a little slack out of the rope, and therefore we concluded that that would fix the problem, and it actually did fix the problem. So what you want to do is you want to pull the string out pretty far, and then you're going to use your hand to stop the gear from recoiling. Once you stop the gear from recoiling, you're simply going to push the line back through the hole and then loop it around the gear. Now this is a Johnson 15 horsepower outboard, but probably the same procedure on a lot of the other engines. You're going to have to be very careful when you loop it around. There might be some structures in the way where you're going to have to try to get up and around and under. As you can see, what we had to do was get it through that little loop that you're going to see on the top part there, and we had to actually use like a pair of needle nose pliers and then back over that bar that's sticking vertically straight up. And once we were able to do that, the pull cord was wrapped around that spool one extra time, and it was just enough to put enough tension on that line so that when it recoiled, it had enough to pull the handle all the way back to the engine. Now take a look. You see how we had to grab a pair of needle nose? The problem was you can't get your fingers in there, so you use a tool like a pair of needle nose pliers, and you pull it up through that little metal loop, and then over that little metal bar, and that gets that line, that pull cord, back around that spool the extra time. Once you get it wrapped around, make sure it's on the spool. You know, you don't want to have it hanging over and get caught up in something. So, because now the spool's got more pull cord on it, so you might have a little extra. It might be bunching up a little there on you. Once you get it on there, job is pretty much done. You can pull the string a few times, and you're going to be able to see that that thing is recoiling back perfectly. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. I want to thank my brother. You see his hands right there. That is Mitch the McGyver you're looking at. That guy can fix anything. And as a matter of fact, he actually walks around calling himself Mitch the McGyver, which is pretty funny. But you got to be pretty good if you actually call yourself Mitch the McGyver and you're serious about it, because you have to have the confidence to know that you can pretty much fix anything with nothing more than your bare hands and maybe a pair of needle nose pliers. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps. You can go out there and fix your pull cord now. Please comment. Please give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel. And have a great day.